grade students, I'm Teacher Carmela, your mp4 teacher for today. Handa na ba kayo? Tara, simulan nating libutin ang iba't ibang bansa sa Southeast Asia. Let's take a look at the traditional garments in Southeast Asia. Here are the objectives for today. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to: Number 1. Analyze elements and principles of arts in the production of arts and crafts inspired by culture in Southeast Asia. 2. Show the commonalities and differences of the culture of the Southeast Asian countries in relation to the Philippine culture by using a diagram. To achieve the objectives above, you are to do the following. Take your time reading, listening, and watching the lessons carefully. Fabric design in Southeast Asia. The first country is Thailand. Thai silk is produced from the cocoons of Thai silkworms. Here are the examples of it: Thai silk skirt, Thai silk dress. Next is Cambodia. Silk weaving in Cambodia dates to as early as the 1st century, since textiles were used for trading. Modern textiles have traces of motifs imitating clothing details on ancient stone sculptures. There are two main types of Cambodian weaving. The first one is Ika technique. Ika technique means to create patterns weavers tie and dye portions of weave yarn before weaving begins. Here is the example. Number 2. Uneven twill. It yields single or two-color fabrics which are produced by weaving 3 threads so that the color of one thread dominates on one side while the 2 others determine the color on the reverse side. Here is the example. Golden thread silks were born in Vietnam and originated from Hadong, the center of weaving and sericulture. Here is the example of golden thread silk.
Vietnamese fabric ranges are: 1. Shantung taffeta. It's a type of silk plain wave fabric historically from the province of Shandong. It is similar to Dauphiny, but is slightly thinner and less irregular. Shantung. It is often used for bridal gowns. Number 2. Benkaline webs. Benkaline is a woven silk cotton material become fashionable for women and children to wear in 1880s and 1890s. 3. Ebony satin. A natural luxurious silk, hand woven in southern Vietnam, naturally dyed using ebony fruits pads. Fabric dates back over a century, but was only recently revitalized by the designer Viet.
Next country to visit is Laos. Laos is known for its sin, the Lao women's ankle-long skirt, whose form is undeniable but whose patterns are unique to each skirt. Here is an example of Laotian sin. Lao women wearing sin. Common to Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore is batik. Batik is an Indonesian Malay word believed to be related to the Malay word titik, which means point, dot, or drop. Do you know that there are 2 categories of batik designs? The first one is geometric motifs. Here is an example. The second one is free-form designs, and here is also the example of it. Malaysia has 2 main types. The first one is hand-painted. The artist uses cutting a small copper container with one or more different size pipes. Here is the example of hand-painted batik. Second one is black printed. It is done by welding together strips of metal to form a metal block. Here is example of black printed batik. The last country to visit is Brunei. Brunei's traditional textile is also called batik, but it is uniquely different from Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore. Its designs have their national flower, simpur, sumboy-sumboy, a pitcher plant, and Brunei's traditional air mali. Batik can be done in 4 different ways. Number 1, hand-drawn. 2, using metal blocks. 3, screen printing. And number 4, digital printing. Here is an example of Brunei's batik polo shirt. May natutunan ba mga bata sa iba't ibang fabric and fabric design ng Southeast Asia? Magaling! So let's answer this activity. Direction. Analyze and show the commonalities of the culture, fabric design of the Southeast Asian countries in relation to Philippine culture using a diagram. Ibigyan ko kayo ng sapat na oras para sagutan ang inyong gawain. Ipasa ito sa susunod na retrieval ng inyong mga module. Bago tayo matapos, ito ang mga dapat tandaan. Southeast Asia Fabric Design. Thailand, Thai silk. Cambodia, silk weaving. Laos, Sin. Vietnam, golden thread silk.
Thank you for today's class. I hope you learned from our discussion. Have a nice day. See you next week. Goodbye. Thank you.